Welcome to the Voice of Many podcast show with Yolanda and Vanessa.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Our podcast will not be possible without you and our sponsor, Z Funk Production. Our guests today are a part of our series that we call What's Cooking in the Kitchen. We'd like to welcome our guests to the show, Morena and Mr. Jose Palomino. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
If you will, our guests, if you will, please tell our listeners a little bit about you.
Okay, so we are a home-based bakery here located in Lake Alfred. We do everything from the house. We are a small business license, and my passion is really baking. My passion has always been in the kitchen. Started back in New York when I went to high school. I did culinary, which back then was called home economics. And that's where my passion for the kitchen, the food, baking started. And here we are.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we've been here in Polk County about a year now. We moved from West Palm Beach. We kind of fell in love with the town. We were looking for homes out here. Actually, we came in. We saw the little town right off of Shin Boulevard. And somehow we just knew we were home. And a few months later, here we are.
That's good. I know I felt the same way as well once I, drove through the area. It does feel homey. You know, it has a home atmosphere to it. So
we've been getting so many support from the whole country, I would say.
Yeah.
Supporting our business. We're getting more and more customers as the day passes, and it's great. It's great. So much that I actually left my job. I used to work at the hospital, and I decided to leave it. After the pandemic, I wanted to be home with my family and dedicated more time to a small business, the baking. And here we are. We love it.
Wow, I tell you, that's awesome. So tell me, how did you two get together to start your baking business? When did that start?
It really took off once when we moved here. We tried it in West Palm. We were doing it for a little bit right out of our house. But for one thing or the other, it wasn't steady. We didn't own the home, we rented. So a lot of the times, we couldn't do the things we needed to do to the kitchen. But once we moved here and, we had our own home, we actually bought the home because of the size of the kitchen, actually.
Yeah.
So we already had in mind a year ago, what we wanted to do and how we were going to set up the house. So we did. And once we had what we thought we needed, we just, let's just get it started.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest, we were thinking, let's start slow. Maybe a few cakes a month here and there, a few things here and there. But I think first week that we were open, it was clear that it was not going to be easy. It's just the orders just start coming in and just coming in. And at the same time, we're trying to get all the we got all the paperwork going and getting registered and licensed and all that, and people asking for stuff, and
mm-hmm.
We really didn't know how we go about getting licensed and getting all of those things. So we were doing the same, at the same time that we're trying to advertise the business, we're trying to be legal.
Uh-huh.
And there again, actually, we had a lot of folks that helped us. A lot. We even have customers who said, "Here's what you need to do, how you need to do it." In fact, we had somebody from the city also come in and give us a lot of good advice and, who to see, how to do things, where we need to go, and, just do things the right way. Obviously, you never want to be outside of the law. but even when you do everything right, there's always some paperwork that you missed or some statute you didn't know about. Now you're in violation of something you didn't even know. But it wasn't to be. I mean, we had a lot of support, and folks really helped us out. And
it was actually a customer, Bonnie, that they directed us in the right direction. And
valuable help, to be honest. And once we got going and we got everything set up, and said, okay, let's
advertise. Once we came up on Google, that's when it really started. I remember I was home actually, making some cupcakes, and I got a call from a customer requesting a cake, and I'm like, wait a minute, how did he find my number? Like, who is this? Is this a prank? I was like, okay, and I'm sorry, but I don't have any cakes. He just wanted to come and pick up the cake. And I know I'm not a storefront. I work from home. And I was like, how do you get my number? Did someone recommend you? And he's like, no, I found you on Google. I'm like, wait, what? So that was, and after that, it's been every day. But I love it. I truly, truly do.
That's good. So he did.
Yeah, it's a peril of small business. You're the CEO, the baker, marketing manager, human resources.
Not easy.
Lawyer, accountant, everything. But it's fun and it's challenging. It really takes you out of your comfort zone, and you have to adapt to so many things, and it's challenges that come with you never want to say no to a customer.
Right.
I
don't like saying no at all.
No, so we were like, okay, Sundays we're gonna go off. We're gonna take off Sunday, and then like last week we had, I don't know what happened to them, but for whatever reason the wedding was on Sunday and they called us on a Friday.
Wow.
Friday evening they needed a cake for a Sunday wedding. And I mean, how can I say no to a wedding cake? Like, leave a bride without a cake? I don't know what the story was. I don't know if she had a cake lady, but I just didn't have it in me. So I said, sure, I'll have your cake ready.
It wasn't like we were not busy. I mean, that was a busy day.
And I'm telling you, I mean, just the text I got from the bride was just like, made me cry.
Oh, wow.
She loved the cake. I was able to do it, and she had her wedding cake.
Wow. That speaks volumes right there. That's great. Because I know for myself, whenever I looked at pictures of your cakes and your cupcakes, I was texting you right away. I was like, well, where's your store? Where do I get them? So, yeah. I definitely understand.
Yeah, the cupcakes actually are a pretty big seller. It's like a small cake that you can eat.
Yeah, those I literally bake if I don't make it at night. Because I mean, I start my day 6, 7 in the morning, and it goes all the way until 2, 3 in the morning. Like right now, I'm working on decorations for a cake as we speak. It just doesn't stop.
Wow.
But so I always have cupcakes ready. Either I make it at night or early in the morning, because those always go. Always. And we advertise fresh, and that's what we give. We're not eating something that's a day, 2 days old or frozen. Never.
Yeah, we actually had a customer who picked up, I think it was...
quite a few, actually.
Well, quite a few, actually. It was funny because he came to the door, and we were literally frosting the cake at that moment. And I think it was a carrot cake that she picked up. It was a carrot cake that she picked up.
Mm-hmm.
So I handed it to her, and the box was still warm. She said, oh, my God, the box is still warm. I said, when we say fresh, we mean fresh.
It has happened. Like, I get a lot of orders, and I try to manage my time. I'm like, okay, it's going to take me 2 hours on one cake to decorate the cake.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't make that cake that, let's say, for 5 o'clock. I don't make that at 9 in the morning. I time myself. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start at 2 o'clock. So by 4:30 is ready. So it happens that, I'm working on the cake, then I get some messages from Facebook or any of the groups. So that delays me a little bit. And when they come at 5 o'clock, I'm literally frosting the cake. I'm like,
Oh man.
yeah, we do everything fresh.
Well,
So how are you guys?
You know what my favorite is, though. Oh man.
So how are you guys managing baking and your children?
They help. They help a lot.
They're my cleaning crew.
They're what, seven
and
10? I should know their ages, but I don't. And to me, it's a great experience for them because they get to see what mom and dad do. Well, dad has another job that they don't get to see. But, it's for them to understand that it's, money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard. My wife will tell you that I push them hard.
Very hard.
She's probably right. I have no mercy with them. But, I just, they need to grow. I know they hate me now, but eventually, my grandparents were the same thing with me. I hated it when they made me go work at the farm or go work with my grandfather. But now I understand, it's the work ethic that they were building. Most people my age when I was in school, they couldn't hold a job. And I couldn't understand why. Well, that's why. And so, the same thing with the kids. They help a lot.
It's harder on the little one, on my 7-year-old, because she sees me work so much in the kitchen. She's like, Mommy, when are you going to stop? Or I want to spend time with you, or let's watch the TV. So I'm like, I don't remember the last time I turned on the TV. So it's kind of, most of the day, they in the room because they do e-learning. So that's another thing, I have to manage my time because I do baking literally from when I wake up until like 2, 3 in the morning. So I have to stop and make them breakfast, and I have to stop, make them lunch, and I don't spend as much time with them as I would like. So what we're trying to do now is pick a day for me to be off, and I mean really off, not even take orders that day, so I could spend more time with them and do maybe some fun activities here in the house. We really don't go out. But at the same time, they like it. They know Mommy's busy. Daddy helps me a lot more now, and they get to help too. On Wednesday. Yesterday, it seems like so far away. Yesterday, we did a drop-off in Lakeland, which that's been going really good. And all 4 of us were working. They had a half a day from school, so they were helping us bag the desserts, put the labels in the bag, and it felt really good. I'm like, wow, this is really a family business. So I love to see when they jump in and help,
I mean, they do disappear into the rooms every once in a while. Scream at them. But, at the same time, they're kids, so they need their time and their fun as well.
Yeah, and they love to see all the new creations. They're like, oh, Mommy, that cake came out so beautiful.
So how long have you been baking for?
I've been baking, for the public for a little over, 8 years? 8 years. But I really started when we got married. We've been married 11 years. That's when I started baking, but I was baking more like pies. I was baking like flan and, apple pie and cheesecakes, things like that. I never got into big cakes like I do now. That started really for, I wanted to do a girls' party for my girls, like a theme party. And that was 7 years ago. So I reached out to a friend of mine that, I knew she did theme cakes. And when she gave me the price of that cake that I wanted, I wanted to try. I said, oh no. So I said, oh, what's my next thing to do? So I went to YouTube
Mm.
and I looked it up and I said, you know what? I can do this. So I tried and tried. It took me like 3 tries. I was a princess.
Yeah.
It was a Anna and Elsa cake, a frozen cake, I remember. So I did my first try and divided the cake into all my neighbors. Remember, it was like 4 houses in our block. And I did samples. I said, what do you think? They liked it. I tried the second one. My design got a little better. And the third one came out nice. So when I did my daughter's party, everyone fell in love with the cake. And that's when I started selling cakes for the public. Since that day, it was just everyone would call. Like, I had like maybe a cake every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And from there, I just started looking at videos and, working with pictures. I don't consider myself an artist because if you give me a piece of paper, I can't draw. Over my life. I cannot. But I work with pictures. Or you could tell me your idea and I will bring it to life like that with a cake. But I cannot sit down and try to sketch a cake for you. That I don't. But yeah, and then since then I just started getting a little more creative and.
Well, we did have a very challenging cake.
Oh, it was for a famous shoe designer.
Shoe designer.
That was a 7-tier cake.
It was a 7-tier cake, as they called us. And, they send us a sketch of what they wanted. And we said yes. And
because I don't really know.
We had no idea how we were going to make that. No clue. But we made it happen.
We did. Very, very successful. It was someone that was like so important too.
Yeah.
So the person was there. It was very stressful, but a great, great outcome.
Yeah, that was something else. I mean, that cake had everything. It had 7 tiers.
It came out in the magazine.
Came out of the magazine, actually.
Wow.
Roses, life roses.
It was a shoe designer, shoes.
It was shoe boxes and shoes. I mean, the thing just had it was an absolute nightmare. And then we had to transport it almost an hour from the house.
Oh, no. Hour and 20 minutes.
About an hour and 20 minutes from the house. So on a Sunday. I think it was a Sunday.
So we really put the cake together at the place.
Really? Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, we put it together there, and it was that was
It's beautiful cake.
It was a beautiful cake. It was just an absolute nightmare. But
and Dominican too.
yeah. If you do 7 tiers Dominican cake, I mean, you do 2 tiers on a Dominican cake, it falls apart. So imagine 7 tiers. It's just like
it had a lot of support.
yeah.
We would definitely post that one for you. Definitely. Pictures of it.
Oh yeah, I'll get you the magazine. Beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful
that was.
Now we've had I think we've been very blessed and fortunate. So.
Yes. Well, let me ask you this. So, with the virus, has it impacted your business at all, or has it increased?
I believe that it has increased it.
Yeah, I think part of it is, we started in the middle of a pandemic, so it wasn't, for us, we didn't have to adapt to a new way of doing business. We started doing business, the new way of doing business.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't have to switch a business model. Our business model came in with just, delivery, pickup, drop-off location.
Protection, not letting anyone inside the house.
Yeah, so.
And a lot of customers, they have reached out to me and say that they actually feel safer coming here than going to an actual place where, there's constant people going in and out.
True.
True. I'm licensed. We wear masks, my hairnet, constantly washing our hands. I mean, I come from a restaurant background. I have over 20 plus years working in restaurant setting with customers. So, and I saw if you come to the house, I don't know if you'll get to give you a tour. I keep everything here as if it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now with the pandemic, even more. We wear our masks. We don't let anyone inside the house, and they feel comfortable. They said that makes me feel good. So I think that has helped as well too.
And I can say too,
Yep.
she does have the hand sanitizer right at the door.
Mhm.
I went to the garage just in case.
Oh, man.
I think I think part of it is being that we started in the middle of the pandemic. We had no option other than to do it anyway.
Mhm.
So, a lot of the business that have been successful, I also have been able to adapt
True.
and adapt quickly. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully one day we'll have a storefront, but it might just be
That's the dream.
that's the dream. But I think that the way we're doing the business now, it's probably going to be,
For a while.
our main way of doing business, the pick up, the drop off.
Yeah, we've been
delivery.
doing a lot of deliveries.
We do a lot of deliveries and a lot of drop offs. Also, we have the Wednesday drop off in Lakeland.
That's going so well.
It's actually doing pretty well. Every week we get more and more. So,
That's great.
but yeah, I think that, I think anybody out there that it's running a business is you have to adapt. You have to adapt, and you got to do it quickly because it's hard to tell when we're going back to. I hate to say the word normal
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know what normal is anymore.
True.
But if business has to survive, we're gonna have to adapt.
Yeah, very true.
Can you tell us what has inspired you along your journey and through your life?
Mm.
Or any family members or anything that has inspired you?
Well, I can tell you that I challenged the heck out of her.
I
Don't
can
tell,
see that too.
don't tell her, but sometimes just how she's gonna react to it.
Well, I can tell anyone that once they meet you both, you complement each other so well. You really do.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's part of
He's been a great help. He's been a great help.
what do you call it? A yin yang, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
I'm okay, and I always figure out how to make that work. I know when she's in the kitchen, it's a disaster, but I know not to get in. When she finishes, she doesn't even have to tell me I'm done. I know exactly when she's done, and I'm allowed into the kitchen.
Oh my
I go, I clean up, I pick up, and then, she goes back to round two.
God.
So,
Yeah, what inspired me, honestly, is seeing my customers happy and satisfied customers. That's, I don't know how to put it into words. It's just,
it's the stories they tell you.
yeah, I want to cry right now. It's not just the baking. It's not just making money. It's just that feeling when you get that good review that you just make someone's day with a dessert with cake.
Yeah.
They just pull their heart out and you take them back to memories of, the time back home or them enjoying a piece of cake with a mom or grandma that has passed. It's just a great feeling. It's just, I cannot put it into words. And that keeps me going. Every time I get that great review or the text or the messages, the pictures of the little kids enjoying the cake is
We had
it's amazing.
We had a review the other day that wasn't really a review. The lady that left us the message. Actually, she didn't even leave it to us. She just typed a message about she tried our product and then she tried somebody else's.
Oh, yeah.
And wasn't as good as ours. Because I got to tell you, we're not cheap. We're definitely not cheap. But one thing that we do is it's quality. We use the best ingredients. Everything's fresh. we strive to use the best ingredients from the chocolate to just the flour. I mean,
everything. The sugar, the flour, the oil I use. We don't go cheap. We don't try to go cheap to make more money. No, we all about quality, about the flavor, the experience.
And she left us she didn't leave us a review. She just went into Facebook and commented on, she bought our carrot cheesecake.
She ordered a carrot cake. Okay, so what happened was a month before she reached out to me, she had a conversation with someone in one of the groups, and she was looking for a carrot cake cheesecake. And she had a conversation with a home baker as well. But then time passed. She ended up in the hospital, and she couldn't remember who she was having that conversation with. So she went on the group and she posted the question or the recommendation. I'm looking for a carrot cake cheesecake for my granddaughter. She said, I had a conversation a month ago with a home baker, but I cannot remember her name. So then everyone started tagging, different persons that bake, and about 6 of my customers tagged me, our business. So she reached out to me. I made her the carrot cake. We delivered it on a Sunday. I think she placed it that Saturday, I believe it was, at a Friday or Saturday. And we went on Sunday on my day off, and we delivered the cake. She was in love with the cake. She never mentioned that she had a problem with the pot. So she was just happy. She sent me pictures. She said her granddaughter was in love with the cake, and the next time she was going to order one for her daughter's birthday. But some time passed, and in that time, she came in contact with the other baker she had that conversation with. And she ended up ordering her daughter's birthday cake, which was a carrot cake cheesecake again, from her. And
the third of the price,
and that other baker charged her, I think it was around $25.
It's a third of what we charge.
And she went with her. And then her experience wasn't that great. So then she didn't tag me or anything like that. Well, she did tag us. She didn't leave me a review, but she went back on the group and just basically said her experience, saying that, she went with this baker and the cake wasn't
full apart.
I don't want to say all that. But it wasn't what she was expecting. And, she said, how did she put it?
You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. And she was saying that she recommends us all the way. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, because it wasn't something that, you normally reach out to your customers and you say, hey, if you like it, leave us a review, or, because you in this day and age, you live off your reviews. And this was something that we didn't even ask for. We had sold her the cake a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and that after she posted that on that group, it's like we started getting orders and requests, and I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? So, but yeah, it's just customers review, that's what inspires me. Well, yeah. I love baking and cooking too for the public. It's just.
And I'm the beneficiary of all that, by the way.
He's learning to bake now. I need help, so.
Well, I can say, whenever I placed my order with you, it was for the chocolate cupcakes and the carrot cupcakes. I never got a chocolate cupcake. I only got the carrot, because as soon as we opened them, they just, I got pushed out of the way. So
my kids and my husband were literally like, give me.
Yeah. So.
And for my husband to actually eat a chocolate cake is amazing, because he only eats the cake. He never eats the icing because it's always too sweet or it's too chocolatey and he has to have milk. He actually ate a cupcake with milk. The icing and no milk. Yeah. And then later was like, there's one left. Can I have it?
Yeah. So
him and my daughter split it, and it was funny.
And then the youngest granddaughter, we have pictures of her just sitting at the table, just licking the chocolate. She just licked the chocolate.
That's
So,
awesome.
it was great. So we've been
Yeah,
talking about how good your cakes are, how good your cupcakes are. So if
Mm-hmm.
you will tell our listeners how to get in touch with you so they can order.
Oh, definitely. Well, we do have a website now. We trying to make it as easy as possible for our customers to order. So our website is www.morenacakesandmore.com. But this we also have other ways for you to place your order. You could go on Facebook. If you follow us on Facebook or on Instagram, you could easily send us a message or even call us or text us at 561-729-1764.
Thank you.
And what advice would you give to any of our listeners who are wanting to follow their love for baking and take it to the next level like you have?
Well, I'll start. I give you the business side of the house. How about that? That's what I'm good at.
Follow your passion. Always follow your passion.
You know, there's a fine line in business between quality and quantity. So when it comes to baking, and this is just something that I really learned with her, is it's the quality. You know, your ingredients, don't go cheap. Try things out before you put them out there. You know, don't be afraid of the feedback. It's going to take you some time to get your recipes and your things right. But get them right. Get them right. It's going to cost you some penny. But definitely do it.
I always say, like, the thing is, like, treat others the way you want to be treated. It applies to anything, to like eating, your baking. If you go to a restaurant, you don't want to get okay dessert. You want to have that best dessert. Mm-hmm. So the same thing, you want your customers to have that experience too. So therefore, as I said, practice what you preach. But just follow your dreams, be passionate about it, and don't let anything or anyone that's negative come in your way. Because you will have that one person that's gonna, try to bring you down. Just keep on going,
Have a plan. I think the most important thing is, and now we're talking from experience. It's have a plan. Have a plan. I mean, we had a plan. Our plan was to start small and slow, and then we grow. But, the small and slow part didn't happen. It's just too small. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. But, the other things that we were planning to do, we were planning a website and this and this. I'm thinking, we got time to do those kind of things. And, you just don't know because, I guess that's on me not really understanding the market, the demand that was out there. But, and again, that's a good problem to have. But, be prepared and, be honest with yourself and just make sure you take that feedback. Don't get discouraged. You're not going to get it right the first time or the second time. But, keep doing it and keep working and, reach out to people that know more than you do and, what mistakes you made and get that feedback and keep perfecting your craft.
And I always try to keep a good relationship with my customers. I don't know if being a home-based business makes it easier for me or not, but I always like to reach out to my customers, make sure, I don't just give them a cake and be like, okay, bye, see you. I'm never going to see you again. I always reach out. I might not do it the same day because if they have an event, but I wait a day or two and I send them a quick message. If I don't get that text from them, which I'd say 60% of them do text me the same day. In 2 days, I send them, oh, hey, just wanted to know, your cake, did you enjoy the cake or the cupcake? Was it to your liking? So just keep that relationship with them, and it keeps them coming back because they appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Now, don't be afraid of the honest feedback. I mean, that's the only way you get better.
Yeah.
And we had a customer that called us once. She really liked the cake, but she's an old Dominican lady, so she has her own ways of doing her Dominican cake. So she called us a few minutes, and she gave my wife a whole list of things she could do.
She reminded me of my grandma.
Yeah.
It's like eating the cake and enjoying it. You could actually hear her chewing, severing the cake, and she's like, yeah, but you just have to maybe add a little bit of more water. But this is so good.
That's some good tips,
I loved it. I was like, oh my God, you remind me of my grandmother.
Yeah. And take that feedback and implement it. I mean, that's the only way. That's the only way you're going to get better. It really is. The criticism, good and bad, and keep going.
And sometimes they truth and honest. Because we had a situation with a fake review, and that was very stressful. So
handle that way.
We did handle that.
Yeah, we handled that pretty well. I'm the communications director, so I had to step in on the situation and handle that professionally. But and everything that you do, I don't know why I can't explain it. Anytime you try to do better for yourself, there's going to be somebody who also wants you to do better for yourself, whether it's because of jealousy or I don't know. They're down on their own luck and their own life, and they just don't want anybody else to do better, and so they try to bring you down. That's that's true for anything you do in your life, but you kind of have to look past the naysayers and the negative people and stick to what you do and to what you know, and
keep following your dream
and keep challenging yourself. I mean, I think now every cake that comes and every order that comes, it's a bit more challenging than the last one. And, every day sitting here on our counter, we're thinking, how are we going to get this done? Somehow, some way, it gets done. It gets done. And
like the tie-dye cake.
The tie-dye cake that...
When was it? It came out? It was like 2 days ago.
2 days ago. No, not 2 days ago. It was yesterday.
Oh, my goodness. There you go. I don't know my days anymore.
And I was looking at this thing. I'm like, why did we take this order? Why are we doing this again? And it's don't be afraid to challenge yourself because
all my customers love to challenge me.
Yeah. So, and it's just as being I'm fear of getting philosophical here, but you never want to be stagnant and be comfortable in what you're doing because it gets boring, and so you do more and more challenging things every day and improve. That's the only way you're going to improve your skills in your craft. You do more and more every day, more difficult, more complex, more challenging, and you get better at what you do. That's just life, I guess.
That's true. Well, thank you for joining us and being a part of our show. We will post all of your contact information, pictures, everything. We will post it all for our listeners so they can have the opportunity to have the best cake and cupcake experience that I've had thus far. So
Thank you. It's been an honor to be here, to be part of this.
It's been a pleasure just tasting your cakes. They're really good. They're really good. Take it from a woman that loves to eat. So,
And to our listeners, we want to thank you for listening to the Voice of Many podcast. If you have any questions or suggestions, please contact us on our many social media web pages. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we will talk to you later.